Just turned, a one-on-one miss there. I think you'll find Dean Young, who is such a reliable defender, couldn't hang on to Daniel Mortimer. Jared Haynes did a great job, but so too Luke Burt to get the football to him. Darius Boyd comes across, a real foot race. Got pushed off, but it did enough to allow Brett Morris to arrive. And then down the short side, Daniel Mortimer, one-on-one, on the outside. Energy and enthusiasm.
Chris. So welcome back to Cogra's Jubilee, you people over at the western suburbs around Parramatta, and I guess there are many, many football parties on this afternoon where you obviously couldn't get into this ground and you're watching it, and if you follow the blue and golds, you would absolutely be beside yourself at the moment, with this man, particularly Luke Burt, having a whale of an impact in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game. And there's his kick to convert. He does! Converted the Mortimer try. Parramatta lead now by 12 points to 2. Andrew John, sideline.
Yeah, judging young halves, I always like to watch him playing short sides. You see Daniel Mortimer here. He gets the ball on a short side, 3-on-3. Looks in, looks out, takes the line on. He's only small, but look at him, he's tough as nails. This is what you call it, a young guy who was born to be a rugby league player.
Just able then on that replay to identify who it was that he went over or went through. It was Dean Young, and he'll be kicking himself, Dean Young, because he plays this game so keenly and so seriously. Here is Joe Nullival playing the ball 10 metres out from his own line. So Growth goes in to take a run, and they take it down the short side with the tackle made by Matt Cooper. Matt Keating comes away, gives the ball to Tim Manor. And obviously a big occasion for Tim. He's out there playing for himself. He's playing obviously for his team, playing for his brother John, who's under chemotherapy at the moment and fighting a much bigger battle than a football match. Here he is with the ball now, Tim Manor.
And after half an hour, ground much easier to be made for the Parramatta side. They've got into good kicking position here. Most impressive thing about keeping their line intact has been their line speed. When they've been fatigued, they've still got up quickly into the face as Darius Boyd brings it back to the 30. And again, plenty of Dragons slow to get back into an attacking position.
They really are. They're dawdling back. Here's Sailor now, taken by Nullival and by Ben Smith. His effort in defence has been striking, is the only word I can think of. He's made 18 tackles, Ben Smith, Peter. So it's the Dragons with Ben Cray crossing the halfway line now. Trailing by 12 to 2, and 6.5 minutes of the first half to go. Here's Dean Young coming across, and actually collided with Ben Hornby, who went to ground. Now for Nathan Fee. He kicks it down into the southeastern corner, and it goes in touch in goal.
Well, I gave the kicking game 9 out of 10 last Friday night, and it was almost immaculate. That, kicks can go dead, but that's on the end of a very, very ordinary kicking performance so far from Jamie Soward and Ben Hornby. Very little pressure on the Parramatta back three when they've kicked. And that has allowed the pressure to be off Parramatta when they've been at their end of the field for the first 20 minutes.
Ball played by Hindmarsh just outside his own 30-metre line. Just let me have a look at these percentages again now. 53% of possession has been with the Dragons. They've completed 12 from 15. Parramatta has completed only 9 from 13. As it goes over to Ben Smith on the right side. Gus, are you still sharpening that axe of yours? You've only got about 2.5 hours left to get it sharp.
Just sharpening away. I can tell you the Dragons have been behind by 10 points 5 times this year and won none of them. They have not come back from a 10-point deficit all season. So everything leading up to their most important game so far. Can they get it done today?
And that was deliberately kicked again by Jared Hayne into touch, this time over the dead ball line. He wasn't looking to keep the ball in play. He's looked at the clock, seen 5 minutes to go. Slow the game down, field position, and let's defend again.
Jared Hayne, I'm just looking at the depth between him and his defensive line is very big. It sort of is inviting the chip and chase. Here's Matt Pryor, rattled up by Todd Lowry, but he was eventually taken by Hindmarsh.
On the other side of that equation, Parramatta have led by 10 points on 8 occasions this year and won them all.
Here's a good ball from Dean Young. It's gone to Matt Cooper. He's got speed to burn. He's down to the 20, got it to Morris. Morris shrugged away from one, got through another, and eventually is held inside the 10 by Eric Grove Jr. Now it's come to Hornby. Here come the Dragons. It's over to Young. It's out to Soward. He's through the hole. He got the ball away, and in to score is Dan Hunt. Dan Hunt has scored for the Dragons. Soward splitting them open on Parramatta's left side.
After the big break down the left-hand side, and Dean Young, he'll be feeling much better about himself. Missed a tackle for the Mortimer try, but he put Cooper away beautifully into a gap. Parramatta backed off and backed off. Brett Morris did well to beat a couple, but they always look skinny on this side of the field after that break. Plenty of Dragons attacking players in position, and Jamie Soward staggered defence in between two defenders to put Dan Hunt in for an easy one.
Come back with Soward taking the conversion attempt of the Dan Hunt try, and he gets it. So it is 12-8 now, approaching half-time in 2.5 minutes from now.
And it was wonderful play by the Dragons. The last part could have gone horribly wrong because Jamie Soward actually goes through, he steps, and he goes through the line. If Dan Hunt had to put his hands up and celebrated the fact that Soward was going to score, that could have hit him in the chest and dropped it, but lucky he kept his eyes on the prize. Jamie Soward was through. It was only a yard out from the line and decided to get a one-hand pass on the inside to Dan Hunt, who, well, he caught it. That's all that matters.
Well, I said it before about Dan Hunt. He's a very, very handy player to come off the bench, and that's what Wayne Bennett really has got. He's just got a fantastic bench. He's got internationals sitting out there, Origin players on his benches. And that's a good place to start measuring the ability of a team. Wayman will play the ball 20 metres out from his own line. Fiend got it back. Dan Hunt is with the ball. Hindmarsh is on top of him, number 11. So Dan Hunt, the try scorer, plays the ball. Fiend decides to go for a run from dummy half and goes out to Cooper. But Cooper is pulled down by Robson. On the 40-metre line, then Wayman really has poured some work into this first half. They probably haven't got the rewards from the work that he has put in, really. 12-8, they're down. Hornby puts a kick in, and it's going to find the line. Just inside the 10.
Nice end of the set of 6 there. Well, the one thing we have witnessed in the first 39 minutes, this is a completely different game of football to what we saw last Friday night. The Dragons have rolled through their plays in the first 20 minutes or so. They were very conservative. Really didn't look that dangerous. Parramatta contained them despite a mountain of defence to do. And then all of a sudden Parramatta go bang, bang. Try to Burt, try to Mortimer, lead by 10, and the minor premiers are under the pump. But they responded quickly, Rabbits, didn't they?
Well, they certainly did. And you people that thought Parramatta would turn it around inside the 9-day period. At the moment, it appears though you're right. Many of us thought that 37-0, you just couldn't turn that around. Parramatta has spent 70% of the time, though, in their own half. The Dragons, conversely, have spent only 30% of the time in the first 40 minutes in their half. Keating has tackled. Probably be the second last tackle of the half. And Tim Manor it is who tries to take it over the 30-metre line. It succeeds in doing that. And the siren will sound during this play. From Hindmarsh, it's gone to Hayne. He holds it back, he dummies, he gets the ball away, and he gave it to Jonathan Wright, but it was knocked forward by a Dragon. And Wendell Saylor reefs it off into the crowd. So half-time is here. And Parramatta will go to the break at 12 points to 8 up, having scored 2 tries to 1. Burt at the 26th and Daniel Mortimer at the 30th minute, and Dan Hunt at the 36th minute for St George Illawarra. Coming up in Toyota half-time, Peter Sterling and Andrew Johns will give you their thoughts on the first half, including the Bundy Red smooth moves. We'll have the latest odds from TAB Sportsbet, and that comes up straight after the break. Toyota half-time, brought to you by Orion's V6 engine. You're watching Nine's Wide World of Sports. This is the home of the final.